Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to another Crypto Maniacs podcast. Here, streaming for your viewing pleasure each and every Tuesday and Thursday on Vim.tv. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. It's like I have to say that. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're doing the Web 2.5 or 2.0 stuff just to pull you guys to Web 3. Task, we got a busy show today, man. First of all, we got 1,000,001 questions to get through because people showed up for the Threadcast, which is awesome. But also, we've got a word of the day for Zeely campaign seekers.
Oh, do we? Oh,
yes, we do. Yes, me and Eric changed the word up. So it's not Web 3 this week, guys. So stay tuned for that. But how you doing, man? Everything good? It's been a whole 48 hours since we've spoken last. Yeah. Good.
Stay tuned for the word. Yeah, I've just been threading away. We are seeing the numbers going up, John, which is exciting. We had a couple Threadcasts that hit some huge numbers. One was for the UCL semifinals. There was like 500 or 600 comments in there. So those football, non-NFL football fans showed up. And I even dropped a thread to you and said, if they can do that, how many could we get around an NFL game come the fall when you consider that, if there was a nice matchup that a lot of people could jump in who are NFL fans.
You shared the restream link so we have people joining the restream right now.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Oops. We are technical geniuses, folks. Technical geniuses. If you guys are coming here expecting in-depth tech talk with how to do this.
No, this is not Hive Tech Talk for sure. It's John and I are very open and very candid about our lack of technical expertise in many, many areas, and we just leave it at that. We know a lot of things, but technical stuff, not our forte.
Yeah.
And we're very open about that. I thought you sent me the Vim link.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I copied.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't have. Why would I? I don't have.
No,
that.
it's the one underneath. It's vim.tv/c/CTP talk. It's right here. Hello. This is hello. Underneath it. You see it?
Yeah, and that's what I sent out, didn't I?
No, you put the top one. That's okay. It's all right.
Well, send out the Vim one.
Anyways, technical difficulties, folks, but we're here. We got a lot of questions to get through. So should we just dive in? Just start jumping into the questions now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And for everyone who hates the day, I put it on night mode. So you guys can live with this. So please bear with us as we go dark mode, day mode. Isn't that what it's called? Day mode, dark mode?
I think it's day or night.
Yeah.
They use.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's dive in. First question is from Captain Silva. That's Nelson, a member of the CTP community. Hi guys, I'm having trouble getting to know how to play decrops. I think I have it all set up. Yesterday I made few purchases, land, seeds, and 5-packs. I only see the land and the free seeds of broccoli. Not sure where to find them. So I personally have never really messed with decrops. I don't know a lot about it, and trying to get tasks, in-depth, insight into games. What would you say, Task? Would you say
I know absolutely nothing about decrops. I know less. Here's how I'll sum it up. I know less about decrops than I do Splinterlands. So totally outside my realm. I couldn't even make up an answer if I wanted to. That's how little I know. I can't even try to bullshit my way through it. So nothing about decrops.
Yeah, for sure. I recommended, there's a couple of guys inside of the CTP community I know for sure, Mad Dog Mike and David Armstrong. Those guys, I know David's involved in decrops pretty heavily, but it might be a good question to ask inside of Threads.
I think Jay Fang is
general.
also a
And
decropper.
Jay Fang too. Nice.
I think he plays decrops.
Yeah, so you definitely have options out there to help you get familiar with it.
Tokenized Society might also. I tag those guys in Threads, and Jay Fang and Tokenized are going through their notification. So I tag them and see if they know.
Yeah, Tokenized is in Vim right now. He said seeds have specific seasons, so maybe you don't have the seeds for this season. Again,
there you go. Tag Tokenized Society with that question, or Tokenized if you want to go into the Threadcast and drop the answer. That would be great there too.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful. Perfect. Great question, though, Nelson. Appreciate you, man. So, and Farm Girl wanted to know that we were doing this in 11 hours, but you said, nope, we're doing it in 2.5. So that's good. That's good. I gotta vote. I gotta vote that because
I think she confused us with Cryptoholics.
Yeah, well, that's Nifty just asked when crossover show. That's what they asked. He asked, not they.
Well, I mean, after the conversations I've had with Nifty the last 2 days, crossover, is he meaning cross-dressing? Because
sir, don't get canceled, sir.
Yeah, we're good thing we're on Vim because we're about to get our asses thrown off YouTube.
Do you drink Bud Light, sir?
There's a can of worms for you.
There's a can of worms, right?
Thank goodness. Why? Wait. Why? What do you mean, John? What's going on with Bud Light?
Nothing at all. I don't drink. I haven't drank for 6 years. Actually, the fun story, the last time I actually had an alcoholic beverage was at Steamfest 3, about 500 or 600 feet underground in Krakow, Poland. So that was, 2018? So last time.
The last time I had a drink, President Clinton or Bill Clinton was the president.
Oh.
That's how long ago it was for me.
That's been a minute. So everyone joining the restream, Task actually made a mistake. The restream isn't the right link; it's the Vim link that we're looking for. So go to Vim.
I think I put the Vim link in the Threadcast. I also did throw the Vim link on to no one. I don't know in the Threadcast which link did I put up.
Well, the Threadcast you originally put the restream up. And so people are joining the restream now. That's what we should do next week if we don't have anybody on one of the days, right? We should just throw it open. We'll just have a big round table, a gong show. That's what we'll call it, the Gong Show. No.
That it's not a bad idea to have an open forum. Could be rather interesting.
Yeah.
Or scary.
Or scary, yeah. Especially if Nifty starts talking about. Yeah. Anyways. Nothing but love. You know what he told me this past week before we get too far?
Oh, Nifty?
I asked him a question.
Do we want to know?
Dude, no, this is hilarious. He's like, I'm going to bed now. Go ask ChatGPT. Like really, he wanted me to go to AI to ask questions. Like, dude, like that hurt my feelings. He's just like brushing me off. Like, go talk to the bots, you peon.
Well, it's like when people ask, and sometimes I get pissy too. Sometimes somebody will ask something on Threads, I'll say, Google.
Yeah.
I mean,
Google University. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's like there's a thing called search engines, which and certain things you can't look up. But But it's good for Nifty to put you in your place. You get a little too big for your britches.
It's humbling. It's humbling.
Yeah, you get too big for your britches, Olsen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely. Let's move on. We got another question. Okay. David Prince. What is Leo M? Because I once saw it in my Leo Finance wallet.
I answered that for him. It's a Leo miner, like any other Hive engine miners. You'll get a little bit of Leo for holding it.
Yeah, and we gave out
Yeah, you've been giving out a shitload of CTP miners.
Well, we don't have any more. Like, I think I have 500 left, which I told people that we will start giving out to people, and we're doing it randomly because, as you can see, everyone watching the stream and the recording on the right there is the trending tags in Threads, and look at that, CTP baby. CTP is the seventh tag trending. So if you, and this is not planned, but if you use the CTP tag in Threads, I'm just going to send you some CTP miners here and there. I've been sending out quite a few, so I have 500 left, and after those are gone, they're gone, and we're not mining it. We're not firing any more up. That's it, and it's all in the market. So yes, everything with an M at the end is usually the mining token for the project.
And if I could jump in here quickly to give a plug, since both John and I are fans of Leo Threads and this whole idea of Twitter on the blockchain. This is how, if you have a project, think about ways to incorporate threads. And here's something simple. I mean, John could have designed a contest around these miners that to give out, but he just said, listen, you do something with CTP tag. I'm going to be going through and randomly giving miners out. Woo was blasting Leo Threads for a while, and Woo and wrestling were trending. It's a great way to get some recognition.
Well, you can get really creative to it. I'm just grabbing the link here. Just one sec. Sorry, I'm multitasking, man. I'm multitasking. I'm multitasking with task. But yeah, so you can get really creative with it, and it's something I mentioned to the CTP community for years and years and years, how to use tags, and this was obviously pre-Threads. I showed people, I used to do walkthroughs on how you can use tags, and you can do little contests. You can, because a tag is, you don't need to pay Twitter to come up with your own tag. It just got to be unique. Right. So what's good about Threads is that most Threads, if you use a tag on Threads, it'll be unique to you. But it's something that's very powerful, and it's a free marketing strategy. So more people, kind of like my post I did yesterday, more people need to use Threads daily and then come up with little cool ways to incorporate your tags into it. So
yeah, I mean, like you said, everybody who's showing up at Leo Threads sees CTP sitting right there on the tag trending page, and it's right there for everybody to see.
Yeah, and it was completely organic too. That's what's crazy. I didn't even plan that. Yeah, I never told people to use it.
Yeah, and that's what happens.
Love it. Keep it going, CTP. You guys rock. Thank you for the question, David. Hope that helps. Jimmy's up. Our friend Jimmy, friend of the show, Jimmy Adames. I was going back and forth with him yesterday about the Heat and the Celtics game. So we'll get into the sports stuff in a second because I know he's got another question. But he said, what is the current total of Hive power to get Dolphin, and what is the total of Leo power to move to the next level from Cub?
I don't know Leo power. I have no idea of the rankings, and Hive power. I think Dolphins around 5,500, give or take. It keeps appreciating over time, and I think it's 54, 55, 5,600 somewhere in there.
Yeah, I always used it like rounded numbers, right? So I did like it was 0 to 500 for your redfish, 500.
Yeah, but it keeps going up, and that was true. So it's now probably about 550 to get to
right. So it's about 5,500 to get to Dolphin.
Just a guess, yeah.
Yeah, give or take. And then it's 55,000 to be Orca. And then 550,000 to be Whale.
Yeah.
Give or take. It's not a guarantee. Now, for Cub, I think Lion unlocks at 15,000.
That's some type of level. I don't know exactly what it is, but yes, 15,000 and 50,000. Are two levels.
Yeah, 50,000 is leader of the pack, and I know that.
There I go. I opened that up for.
Yes, you did, sir. Yeah, because I'm about.
Let's ask. You asked me how I'm doing. How's your quest for leader of the pack going, Jungo?
I'm about 1,200 Leo power away.
Really?
So if I don't do I've been buying it like a savant, man, like crazy, just buying it.
Good.
But I didn't get the 8,000. That was that little NFT thing that they did for LPUD. which pisses me off because I did all the powering up throughout the month. Like I do L PUD every day. I don't, and I get why people do the L PUD and the H PUD and the Hive power up and the Leo power up days. I get it. It's an exciting thing for the community, but I power up every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard for me. And I was I was talking to a guy on Threads yesterday, I think, and I was like, I don't know how you have the patience for it. Like, as soon as I see Liquid Leo, I have to power it up. Like, I can't have it. I can't have it sitting in my wallet. It annoys me. It has to be powered up. So, I mean, I guess people keep Liquid so they can sell if there's ever a moonshot or something. But I'm a degen, man. So, hope that answers your question, Jimmy. Appreciate it, man. Tokenized Society, friend of the show. Hello, Maniacs. Outside of Leo and CTP umbrella, what other projects or communities on Hive have caught your attention recently? I'll let Task go, and then I'm going to go on my rant, kind of.
Well, for me, I mean, my focus right now is almost exclusively Leo finance, and I do explore, and that's the extent of it. I mean, there's lots of good projects, I guess. I don't know much about them. Woo seems to have a following. There could be something there. I know nothing about it. We had Bob the Builder, CyberX, and LVL. They're doing some interesting things. Of course, Speak Network is amazing. What's going on there, and then you can talk about VSC, what Vaultex building. Those are more infrastructure type things, but I think they'll have big positive repercussions down the road. But for right now, I'm like John. I'm almost exclusively Leo finance. There's just so much going on, and that to me is by far the closest to being, because of the building over the last 3 years, because of the development team, because of people like Eric, aka a Nomad Soul, because of threads, because of stuff taking place, tokenomics. There's a lot of things going on right now with Leo Finance that is making this closer to something that I think could eventually break out in a big way. And I'm not only talking token price, I'm talking, users and activity and things of that nature. So, it's like Nifty and I were talking earlier, and it's like there's just so much going on, to focus on too many projects. Not only is not advisable, like John, sat down and had a discussion with himself about before the beginning of the year. It's not even possible. I mean, it's, for me to get my 200 explorers in a day is becoming a pain in the ass now. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to do, and it's cool. It's great. But, there's absolutely no way, anybody can keep up with all that's going on with Hive. So, right now for me, I can only tell what I'm doing. I'm not besmirching any other project, but I'm pretty much 97% Leo finance focused, 95%. And, any of these other projects that are, doing great things, I'm sure they're out there, but I'm not aware of them.
Yeah, it's very similar to me. I mean, obviously, the CTP umbrella and Leo Finance are like my two big things. And at the beginning of the year, I decided it was time to really trim the fat, like I've been saying over the past couple of months. So it's helped me out a lot, and it's really helped my Leo holdings. I've been able to power up a lot more, taking a lot of the tokens. Not that I don't see value in other tokens, but I'll sell it and usually buy Leo with it. But one of the projects that really caught my eye, ever since I kind of got out of Splinterlands, I've been really had a bad taste in my mouth with games and stuff. But I am kind of fascinated by idle games. Idle games are pretty, you don't need a PhD in computer science to figure these things out. So TerraCore has been something I've been very interested in. I haven't put really anything into it. It's literally just been an idle game. So I've got some staked scrap, and it just generates scrap for me. So I don't need to think about it. It's really cool. Graphics are really nice. I like the design of the site. It's right along the lines of the space exploration stuff like Exode, but Exode is more of a game battling thing. This is really, TerraCore is really just, you can battle people every now and again, but generally you just stake your scrap and it just generates more for you. So I haven't really done a deep dive into it, into the lore, into all but I just have the basic understanding. So that's actually a project that I've been just watching and enjoying taking part in. And it doesn't take any of my time, which is a win. So other than Leo and CTP and obviously the Hives, as a whole, I've been interested in TerraCore. So there you go. Tokenized. Thank you for the question. Next question, Jimmy, and this is going to be a big one because this was fascinating to me. There's a proposal at Sports Talk Social to make some big changes. Wouldn't a Threads initiative been a huge boon for this community? Yeah, for whatever reason. Well, we'll do a little background story. So Sports Talk Social was one of the first tokens, Sports Talk, on Layer 2. It was right along with Leo. It started a little bit before CTP. It's one of the first tribes and tokens on Hive Engine. And it was a huge market. I mean, you remember when this launched, Task? I mean, everyone was really excited about it because it was just like you tapped into every sports fan's dream, like the ability to talk about sports on chain. It was just this huge potential and people loved it and a lot of people got into it. Basically, the creator of the token has kind of gone MIA. He doesn't really mess around with Hive anymore. He's still on Twitter. He still does his Bitcoin maxi stuff on Twitter, but he's kind of disappeared from the token. And the community wants to kind of take over, but they can't because he's not going to release the keys for the Sports Talk project. So there's proposals about how they're going to split it, how they're going to create a DAO from it, this, that, and the third. And for whatever reason, what Jimmy's asking here is, why didn't they use Threads? Why? Well, as a whole, why doesn't everyone on Hive use Threads? And we all have our theories on it. But something like sports, as we can see from the trending tags on Threads, sports is kind of a big deal. And you tap into the sports community on Threads. Why didn't Sports Talk Social jump in on Threads, for example? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know why. I mean, I think it goes against the backdrop of what you just asked. Why doesn't everybody? But Jimmy did ask, and I replied to this. I think it's a great idea for them to start discussing proposals on Threads. And also, I think, I came up with the idea of Threadcast right after this was implemented, not the new UI. This is back in August. And it to me, it's and I've written about this idea of a container, which is basically a threadcast around a topic without a broadcast. So a threadcast for like the UCL finals today, that would be a threadcast. People watching the game, they saying this player sucks, this player's great, whatever. They're going back and forth. But then you could have a container where, when John said him and Jimmy were going back and forth, they could have just set up a container for the Heat Celtic matchup, or set up a container for, why the Giants are so much better than the Bills, and for can go back and forth, with that. And I'm just using that as an example, John. Don't get pissy now.
Like before I like the way you're talking here, but did you see the hashtag that I created for the back and forth between me and Jimmy?
No, I haven't, honestly.
Jimmy was so like blown away that the Heat beat the Celtics, and I was just like, oh, things you love to see. And then I did the hashtag I hate every Boston team. So that seems the trend. So
yeah, well, I was just going to say, I mean, I can't make the claim that the Giants are better than the Bills. I don't know, but we know in that division the Patriots are the king, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, what I was saying, see, the thing is when you have a hashtag, all that stuff ends up in the mess of the main thread section. And when you set up a container, you can go back and forth, and it's just you and that other person. And these are use cases. And get back to what we're talking about with the sports here. This is a prime example where John and I can rib each other. We can set up a container, which is just basically a thread.
Yeah.
John, Bill suck. And then we can keep commenting under it, and we can go back and forth, and he can call me a bald-headed moron. And I could say, well, your quarterback's overrated. He said, your quarterback's so bad, he's not even rated. And we could just go back and forth like that. Or we could be positive and say, hey, we got some good teams. And, hey, at least we're not the Jets. So, these are use cases. So what Jimmy's saying is, why don't these communities like CTP, it was organic. Why don't you turn to threads? Start talking about threads. Start using the stuff we talk about. Set up your own little thread cast and just go in there, or your containers, and go back and forth. Yeah. And, you can talk about proposals. You can talk about your favorite teams, your most hated teams. You can talk real time about a game that's taken place. That's why I said you had a 500 or 600 comment thread cast for UCL. And I'm not joking, John. Yeah. What could we do with the NFL if you got 4, 5, 6 passionate NFL people together with one team that somebody's passionate about, another team that somebody can't stand? Yeah. There's going to be a lot of excitement in there. Oh, damn, Dak Prescott, he's a piece of crap. And Jimmy will defend Dak Prescott, or maybe he won't.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the thing with football, soccer, for us across the pond here, we don't understand like you and I do, obviously, because we're into sports and stuff like that. But the everyday person might not understand why isn't Major League Baseball and hockey and basketball talked about all the time compared to soccer? Soccer is huge. It's not like it does. I can't even begin to describe how big it is. It's the global sport. When they say World Cup, they're not joking. A lot of other sports have world championships. No, World Cup is the world. It's an entire planet that is obsessed with it. So it makes sense because Threads is very global, and there's a ton of people in Threads from the African continent who guess what sport they love the most?
Yeah, soccer. I mean, South America.
South America.
And you have different leagues. I mean, everybody has a league. It's like, okay, in Major League Baseball, what do you have? Okay, you got Major League Baseball, you got the Japanese League, which is like a major step down. Then you got the Korean League, which is even a step down from there. And yeah, you got some stuff in the Dominican Republic and whatnot, but it's really not serious. At the pro level, it's not serious competition. Right. It's like saying, well, they make movies in Japan too. Well, let's be honest. When it comes to movie making, there's Hollywood and there's everywhere else. And, NFL, I don't even think there is actually American football anywhere else. NBA, yes, there's leagues in China, there's leagues elsewhere, but that gets the people who can't sign with the NBA teams, but you start to look around these different leagues in Brazil, all through South America, all through Africa, all through Europe. Europe has like 4 or 5 different leagues, and EPL and different teams, and it's just uncontested. So, why isn't Major League Baseball discussed? Jimmy and I discuss Major League Baseball. How come you aren't discussing on Threads? NFL, well, obviously it's not NFL season, so we'll see what happens in the fall, but that should be discussed. NBA should be discussed. Set up a damn Threadcast for the Heat Celtic game and get in there if you care about the Heat or the Celtics, and find other fans. I mean, it can be done. Jimmy and I do this most every day for the Mets because we're both Met fans. And we go back and forth and do about, 100 different comments during the course of a game.
We already got people asking for the keyword. That's not how it works here. You have to enjoy and sit here forever to listen to us. Drag this on. The keyword has not been announced yet. Don't worry. It's coming. Last time we gave it in the middle of the show. It's kind of the middle of the show right now, but I think
we got more questions.
We got more questions. Questions coming up. Thank you, Jimmy, for the question. Kalu says, what is the Leo Finance ad and its benefits for Leo Finance as a whole, I'm guessing. I mean, ooh, boy. Where do we begin? What would you say is the benefits for the ads that are being shown on Leo right now?
Well, what it is there's a smart contract that's been designed, and it's the Leo Finance ad revenue. And basically, what happens is the ads that appear on Leo Finance, they're paid in Bitcoin. This smart contract is going to take the Bitcoin that comes in, convert it, and it's going to buy Leo ultimately. And the Leo will be distributed to Leo power holders. So what is being created is a true Web3 model where instead of Facebook, the corporation, getting the ads, or Google, the corporation, getting the ads, or Twitter, i.e. Elon Musk and his partners, getting the ad revenue, what happens is the ad revenue from Leo Finance is going to be utilized to buy Leo off the open market, which I don't believe has been done yet. I'm not quite sure. And then redistribute that Leo to Leo power holders, which means that depending on the traffic, depending on the ad revenue, depending on the amount of money generated, you will first stake in Leo. You will get an ROI from the ad revenue. Maybe 1%, maybe 5%, maybe 15%. Who the hell knows? The more revenue, the better it can be. And that's what it's doing. So we're actually seeing a major step forward in this Web3 design or Web3 model where the users, i.e. users / Leo power holders. So if you're a user and you actually power up and stake your Leo, you enjoy a part of the financial benefit of the ad revenue, or will be enjoying it when it happens.
Yep. It's crazy because it's just like this another reason. Like if you didn't love Leo already, it's just another reason why stacking Leo is a very good idea.
Yeah, and this is above beyond your curation and all that other shit. And I have a feeling once that distribution goes live for the first time, that will really be a game changer, because then other people will be saying, wait a second, why did John, why did you get, I'll pick a number, 250 Leo?
So I'm leader of the pack, damn it.
Yeah, because I'm leader in the pack and I got ad revenue. And it's like other people sit there and say, well, I want some too. Well, buy yourself some Leo and power up, stake it.
Beautiful. I love it. Jay Fang, friend of the show. I love the question because he's thinking about you. Jay Fang is thinking about you, Task.
I know.
Since Task was missing the questions about Splinterlands, what do you think about the changeover to collection power to SPS stake to get maximum league rewards? Okay, so again, I've exited Splinterlands, so my opinion now is you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's not, an investor in it. But the rumor is, not the rumor, this is what they're doing. It used to be how many cards you had, your collection power, your CP, determined the leagues you could get into every season and determine the rewards you would get. So the better cards you had, the more cards that were leveled up, the more gold foils you had, the more rewards you'd get. Well, like Splinterlands famously does, changed things up. So now all of these people that have been collecting these cards since day one, the alpha cards, the beta cards, it's cool to look at, it's great to play with, but it doesn't really give you any benefit to holding them for rewards. If you're into the rewards, the bi-weekly challenges and the seasons. So now to get maximum rewards, you need to have SPS staked. SPS is the token. It was supposed to be the governance token for Splinterlands, and it was like all the promises of the world. And I when it launched, I was living off of SPS because it was like at $1 or whatever, like 80 cents or something like that. And it was great. And it was wonderful. It's down to like 2 cents now. I don't know. Maybe it went up to 3. I don't know what it is. This is my thoughts, and then I'll love to hear Task's, because Task is obviously a massive investor in Splinterlands. Dude, this is one of the reasons, and it's too early to tell what it's going to do, but this is one of the reasons I got out of Splinterlands. Again, I think long-term, Splinterlands is great. I think it's fantastic. I think they're very smart guys. These people know what they're doing. They've made a ton, a small fortune. Splinterlands makes a lot of money. I know they have a lot of bills, but they really get it when it comes to setting up a business on a blockchain. So kudos to them. But one of the reasons I decided to get out is because there were so many things being added to Splinterlands while the things that were promised were never seemed to be realized. So land was supposed to come out. I guess land is out. I don't know if you can do anything with land other than like stake your land or what. I don't even know. But that was promised 2 years ago. There was all these things that were promised, and then they start launching new cards. And the Rooney card was like going to be this game changer. I don't even know if it's talked about anymore. All of these promo cards that they release, and it's just they're always, which is fine. You want to be always doing things, but one of the problems I had with it was just that they kind of just they left everything that started and created Splinterlands, and they just moved to the new shiny object, and they just keep to go to the new shiny object. So this is the new shiny object. Now it's like SPS is just like this project that they're so focused on to make governance, and this is their token they want. What's it done to the price of it? I don't know. I don't even know what the price of SPS is because I don't have anything to do really with Splinterlands these days. But it's tough, man. It's tough when you tell your community one thing and then it's not realized, and then you move to the next thing. So it's like, yeah, we're still going to do that, but we got this new cool thing. Oh, we're still going to do that, but then we got this new cool thing. So I think this SPS staking is the new cool thing in Splinterlands. It'll cause drama. People will get upset. Some people will leave. Some people will be bullish. I don't have a dog in the fight anymore. I hope nothing but the best for Splinterlands, and I think that as a game and a community, it's the best out there. It's just frustrating when things change, and like, yeah, that's my rant. What do you think, Task? Because we know you are a gold foil legendary holder.
No? Well, I mean, now you're talking about focus versus, the decentralized approach, which looks like, everybody's chasing cockroaches. And what ends up happening is if you thread it all together, no pun intended, if you thread it all together and you tie it all in, you end up with massive explosion because all of a sudden you have all these pieces that appear to be like just floating out, icebergs floating in the ocean. But then all of a sudden, you lift everything up and it's like, oh shit, it's a giant glacier that they built. Right. So I don't know if they can do that or not. I really have no idea what they're doing. I mean, you could say the same thing about Leo Finance and Cal, and he's been going 1,000 different directions with things, and people got frustrated. And well, why don't we have a cohesive message? Because there is no fucking cohesive message. It's decentralization. It's you're working on all these parts, and you're trying to pull them together. And a lot of it is development. So you're at the mercy of the developers. You're at the mercy of technological advancement. And, sometimes that goes quicker than you expect. Sometimes it goes slower than you expect. And so what you do is you keep putting the foundation in place and keep building. And it's like is happening with Leo Finance right now, the overall entity. The idea behind Project Blank initially was to bring out a blank token, and that was shit canned by bringing it under the Leo umbrella for the point you just said. Maybe someday you can pull all this value into these different tokens, but it gets very difficult. So what Leo Finance is doing is the social media side. That's all coming under the Leo umbrella. And that's being adjunct with the ad revenue, which has been talked about for about 1.5 years. And we're starting to see it come to fruition. These things take time. So, Splinterland's talking about something and then not manifesting immediately. I mean, that's par for the course for all of this type of stuff. Right. But at some point in time, you gotta make it crystal clear, where is the value being built? And the value being built, by the way, is on Leo, the token. But at the same time, guess what that helps? Mm-hmm. The amount of Leo during the price spike, the amount of transactions taking place in the Leo ETH pool evidently is through the roof. That's where everybody's going and doing their swapping. So, I mean, that's just generating fees. And then there's, I'm sure, bridging going on and people bridging back. So that's where you start to look at and say, oh, I see now how these other pieces that are appear to be on their own island really aren't. But you have to keep developing and keep building and keep pushing people in the direction you want. And if you're going in a thousand different directions, people can get a little lost.
You mentioned something that I think really hits home with a lot of the OGs in Splinterlands. You know, where is the value? So Splinterland, since day one, the value was always the cards. That was the value. The value was the cards, the collection you had. Now the value is being said, no, it's actually SPS. And I think that's the problem with Splinterlands right now. Why there's so much contention between two camps. It's like, yes, it's all assets. It's all part of the big game, but original investors and people that have been in this for a long time and have been told that the cards were that's the collection, it's the NFTs, that's the sexy part. And now it's like, okay, well, yeah, but to get maximum rewards, it's actually the value is going to be in SPS. It's just like, yeah, okay, you know. So now, but yeah, anyways, Splinterlands. There you go, Jay Fang. I hope you're happy, because we dove into some Splinterlands content. It's been a while. Word. People are looking for the word, so I'm going to give them the word. The word. And I did mention it, and I highlighted it while we were talking, but I emphasized it. But I'll make it crystal clear for everyone. The word, because we're all doing it on Leo, right, is stacking. The word for the Zeely campaign is stacking. So make sure you claim your XP in Zeely for the adoption campaign for Leo Finance. Stacking is the word. STACKING. Not stack in. Remember stacking? Charles Fuchs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked him.
He was a cool guy.
He was
cool. He had some funny shit that he said posted.
Yeah, he was great. Stacking is the word. So thank you very much. Let's get in. Lisa, CTP member, friend of the show. She said, I'm a bit confused about how long-form posts show up on Leo Finance. Now, I noticed here in threads, there's still only a 250 character count allowed. If we post in Leo Finance community on Peak D, do they end up here? Well, if you use the Leo Finance tag, yes, it will show up. It'll show up on Peak D. Actually, anything you do on Leo will show up on Peak D, because Peak D is kind of a all-encompassing front end, while Leo, you have to have the Leo Finance tag for it to show up on Leo. So yes, it will show up on Peak D. It's a little confusing right now, but once I don't know how to search long form content on Leo, but to post, you just click on publish, or you go to profile and you go to blog. That's where it would show up. You got blog, wallet, threads, the options when you click on profile. But if you want to post long form content, it's just clicking on publish. You can see there on the left side. But is there a way to search long form Leo content right now?
Yeah, go to the curate tab and you got the trending, and then scroll down and it'll say more trending, and then below that is the new stuff.
There you go. Yeah. Task has been spoken. And
you know, that's I think a shift, if we can bring that up about Leo Finance, is obviously if you type in Leo Finance, you come to the threading page. That's the focus. And it's general topic, as we all know. We've talked about sports. We've talked about all different types of things that you can post on Leo Threads. And it's general purpose. It's open there. The long form content is still the Leo Finance genre initially, but you notice it's not as obvious as it was in the past. And the reason being is long form content, proportionally speaking, versus short form with the internet in general, there's no contest. So yes, long form content readers can still find it, still write it. I mean, there's a big publish button. You write, you can put a 1,500 word post together. You go to your profile, you go to blogs, it's all there, your blogs, just as on Peak D. And you go to the curate button and you can find the trending, you can find the new stuff, just like on any other front end. But, you know, what pops out at you when you come to Leo Finance, if you're new or if you're, you know, not real familiar, threads. And, you know, this is where I think it separates it, because now we're talking about something on blockchain that I don't see out there anywhere else really.
I got a really cool post planned for tomorrow about that. Stay tuned. Marketing stuff. I'm always thinking marketing, how to do this marketing stuff. It's crazy marketing stuff. As soon as we say the word of the day, the viewership just got cut in half.
Yeah.
That tells you no one cares about us, Task. They just care. They just want our secret words, man. They don't care about us.
I mean, for me, I'm a jerk, so it's understandable. But you're actually a nice guy, and they don't care about you. That says something about them.
Dude, I don't know, man. We got a couple questions from Cal, the man, the myth, the legend, who will be here on the 25th, a week today, as a special guest. So stay tuned for that. Next Thursday, we got Cal, the definitely the apex of apex lions. Would that be fair to say? Like, you're an apex lion, but he would be the apex of the apex. No,
actually, by halting, it might be one alpha.
Well, one alpha's one alpha's like Simba, or not even Simba, Mufasa. Like one of those top lion.
Yeah, he's the alpha. I don't know what Cal's holding, but I think he has. He was doing LPUDs like 100,000 for a while there each month, so he powered up a fair bit.
Yeah, he's definitely better at life than I am. But he wants to know, what do you guys think of the recent Ledger accusations? Oh, this is going to be gold. It seems that Secure Element chip does, in fact, have the potential backdoor that can be exploited by Ledger firmware updates. This was previous thought and said to be impossible. So, for those that don't know, in the crypto space, Ledger is one, and I have my Ledger wallet here somewhere. I don't even know. I have it here somewhere. It's basically a thumb drive, and it was supposed to be unhackable. Like, it was the safest way to keep your Bitcoin. Now, all of a sudden, the rumor is that they can actually backdoor it with some of the updates. So obviously, Ledger's creating a little bit of FUD. A little bit of drama in the crypto space. What do you think, man? I think it's priceless, personally, because this was told for as long as I can remember. Cold storage is the best, it's the safest, this, that, and third. And now there was two, Trezor and Ledger, which were like the number 1 and 2 cold wallet storage options. Now the Ledger's saying that, oh yeah, we can backdoor your crypto with firmware updates. What do you think, man?
I think this is all either in anticipation or a backroom deal for regulation and compliance, and allowing government access to this stuff. I think it's all part of this overriding umbrella that we're seeing out there with exchange, with the centralized exchanges, and now you're seeing it with Ledger. I presume they're an American company. I don't know exactly where they're headquartered, but that's obviously, I would think, one of the ones, like you said, there's two major players. You go to them and you say, listen, we need a backdoor. And this is no surprise. I mean, if you think about the campaign running into 2016, Hillary was sitting there espousing how, oh, well, the government needs a backdoor into Apple products, and Apple has a responsibility to give the government backdoor because we have a right to have this access.
Right. Yeah.
And, I think Tim Cook basically told her to go fuck off. I don't think Apple did it, but, at least publicly, I mean, there probably is. So this doesn't surprise me that they're trying to do it, and they probably threaten Ledger with some type of bad alternatives if they didn't do it, or the company sees where this is going and says, listen, we got to get ahead of the curve.
Man, if only I had a safe way to keep my crypto on chain, like powering up Hive. Oh, sorry. Next question. Cal wanted to know, there's always a lot of FUD around USDT. They recently came out and said that they would be using their profits, and there's quite a lot of profits, to buy Bitcoin for their reserves. Is this another Do Kwon moment or a net positive? Nifty says,
It's
looking like a quantitative easing. I like the play on words.
it's here I've written a year and a half, 2 years worth of posts about this. You don't build value on a currency by the reserve behind it. And that's where HBD, as I've beaten my head against my laptop for 2 years, can stand out. Yes, you have the reserve, fine. That's what gives a little bit of confidence. But at the end of the day, on a stable coin, you need the utility. The utility for USDT is as a parking spot. Now, Grant, this is a big utility. But you sell your Bitcoin because you think Bitcoin's going down, the price, you don't like the market, you park your money in USD, DT, right, or even USDC. And then when you think the bottom's in, you jump back into BTC or Litecoin or Ethereum or whatever the hell you're buying. Yeah. That's the use case for these things, parking places. That's it. Nobody's really building utility around them. Hive, we're building some utility through the community around HBD. That ultimately is the value, the network effect on your currency. That's why the US dollar is by far and away the most powerful currency the world's ever created or ever seen, because the economic productivity created tied to that currency is astronomical. Now, what Cal's referring to, yeah, it's another UST moment. It's all well and good if the price of Bitcoin goes up. It's like, okay, great. We bought 15,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 or whatever the number is worth of Bitcoin, and it doubled. So now we got 100,000. But what if the price of Bitcoin goes down? Yeah. Now all of a sudden your backing is half of what it was, which means either your peg is fucked, or you have to go and buy more Bitcoin to help prop it up. And as we saw with UST, it did nothing. They burnt through the Bitcoin in nanoseconds. It did nothing. Mm-hmm. So that was the problem. There was not only was there no safeguards in place for UST, as we know, the damn market cap for UST got to be the same size or bigger than the market cap for Luna, its backing agent. But there was no use case for UST. What the fuck could you do with it? Right. There was no utility. And stable coins, you need some utility. You need something to do with it. What can you do with HBD? You can go buy lunch in Sucre, Venezuela. Okay, this isn't like buying something from Amazon, but it is a use case. There's 45, 50, 60 businesses you can do with it. Ragnarok's going to have use cases. That's where this stuff starts to expand when you start to look at lending platforms and collateralization. You don't see that with this other stuff. So, yes, Cal, my view is it's just fluff.
Agreed. Zia said, what is CTP? I listened to CTP many times, but don't know what it is. CTP is a tribe similar to Leo, even though it's more a online business entrepreneurship tribe. That seems to be the focus. But we do a lot of, obviously, crossovers with Leo. So, investing, your businesses, entrepreneurship, online marketing, your creative passions, whatever. That's what CTP is. So it's a token that you can stack, because stacking is the key word of the day. So stacking CTP and Leo is awesome. Tokenized, just wanted to know, follow up there about the ledger thing. So we addressed that. Thank you for the question. Eric said he's got a big question. So here we go. Task, what are your plans for when we hit 10K users on Threads? Are you still planning on being top threader, or are you this active to kickstart it and give Threads momentum? Yes, Task. What are you going to do once we hit 10,000? Because we will. What are you going to do other than a happy dance?
Well, I mean, John knows what I'm doing. I have a special purpose for my threading of this month. And in fact, if a Nomad Soul puts out the numbers, I might have the data I need to put together. But yes, I'm doing this to kickstart things. I have to get back to Leo Glossary. I mean, I can't do shit about it because there's no damn edit button on Leo Finance right now. So I can't edit any of the posts unless I go through another front end, which that kind of defeats the purpose for SEO and whatnot. So yes, at some point in time, I got to let off the threading pedal and get back to building Leo Glossary and doing something with that, because that's going to be incorporated in a bigger way. So yeah, I mean, but right now somebody needs to get activity, get people excited, to pass out the token, to give some upvotes, to kickstart things, and that's unfortunately, when something is new or something is fresh, it takes people who go crazy with it, because you only have about 3 people involved. And even with threads right now, I bet we have maybe 100, 150, 200 daily users. That's nowhere near enough.
Cal mentioned you actually on the the When Soon show this week. How you've turned yourself into a brand. You've built a brand by being active on Leo, and you always say, I'm gonna tip my cap to you, because you always highlight, we need 10 Jimmy Adamases, we need 100 Nifties, we need 101 Erics. Imagine if we had 101 Taskmasters, raving fans and actual users of this stuff. This is why, personally, I'm screaming at the CTP Discord to get involved in threads and use it all the damn time. Now, I don't know what to talk about. That's not the point. Literally say, I don't know what to talk about, so I'm here on threads. Don't worry. We'll give you something to talk about. Just get out there and be seen, because, like Cal was alluding to, you can create a personal brand like Task has just by using this stuff. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, from a platform standpoint, every platform needs, especially to start, its super users. You just need that. You need that foundation. But
Eric just said 300 daily users.
What's that?
Eric just said 300 daily users.
300 daily users. Well, let's be honest. We need 3,000 daily users. Because you take your daily users and you look at his stats, right, and you have probably a dozen, maybe 15 who could be considered super users, and the rest of them, and it's fine. People are busy and stuff like that. They do a few threads here and there, maybe 5 or 10 a day. If you get 3,000 people doing 10 a day, there's 30,000 daily threads. Then you get your super users and your moderate users, you have something different. But going back to the idea of brand, this is shit you and I talked about from day one. I mean, our mantra hasn't changed. I could go and try to build a brand on YouTube. I could go try to build a brand on Twitter. I could go and try to build a brand online. Good luck. It's going to take years, and there's a great chance I don't have anything other than maybe the smallest of niches if I'm highly successful. The chance of getting into, some of the YouTube circles where you become, a major brand is not very likely.
Right.
But you come to Hive, and especially now with Leo Finance, Leo Threads, you can jump in there and build your brand. And I see people from Africa. I see people from South America. I see people from Venezuela, which is obviously in South America, starting to utilize this and stand out to at least me. Now, what do they do above and beyond that? I can't tell you. But that's part of what Eric's initiative is, when he starts to sit there and say, okay, go over to 3Speak and make a video. Because what he's actually doing, I don't know if he designed it in this way, but the idea is now you can start to build a brand. I wrote a post, and this is due to a conversation with Starker about Hive Broadcasting Network and how they're putting together a team of people who, John, we'd like this, who can actually edit this stuff and break it up and get small little pieces from a video. And so Hive actually starts to establish some type of, professionalism with its stuff, that we can have like shows and things like that show up instead of just little podcasts like this. John and I could actually like shower and shave and get cleaned up and put on a nice shirt and actually have a professional broadcast instead of some dude in a baseball cap and
backwards
me,
always. Yes.
I think I showered last week because it rained. So, when I come back from the mailbox, I got cleaned off there. So, but these are things when you start to look at these decentralized broadcasting and you start to take this concept. Yeah. And of course, Hive can take that to another level because we're getting, tokenization and the Hive platform and the Speak network. I mean, we can just put this on steroids. That's what it comes down to. And so, when you look at Django, when you look at Taskmaster, when you look at Jimmy Adamas, when you look at Tokenized Society, when you look at a Nomad Soul, when you look at Nifty, you look at Crypto Hogs, you look at They Call Me Dan and Starkers and CTT and Eddie Spino tied with them. Why do we know these people? Because they're always around. They're doing something. Their names being mentioned. We're mentioning each other on different shows, not to kiss each other's ass, but we're doing that because, it's an example. When Cal mentions me as building a brand on Leo Finance, well, he's doing that as a way to say, hey, this is what the potential is on this platform that we're all building here.
Yeah.
But Dan said a number of times on CTP broadcast, he said, go follow what Task and Django are doing. Those guys, they know how to tag, they know how to get people, they know how to get content up there and get follows. Why are they doing that? Are they doing that to pat us on the back and to stroke our butts? No, they're doing that to point out this is what can take place here. This is what people do when they start branding. So, and this is really what the platform, and I say platform/ecosystem, this is what Leo Finance needs. We do need 101 Jimmy Adamises. We need 1,000 Jimmy Adamises. We need RM Sadkri. If I said that properly, he's a threading legend now.
Our good friend from Toronto, you mean? Yes.
He is getting in there and threading up a storm.
Yeah.
If you are on Threads, you can't help but see this guy. And
Farm Girl.
I Farm Girl. Absolutely. She's there all the time. She's threading. She's creating a brand for herself. And while Threads is small, Eric said it, 300 users a day. That means it's not that hard to stand out.
Exactly.
Because of those 300, there's a fair portion that are doing 5 or 10, and that's it. So if you want to stand out, get up there and throw up. And then Eric's developing leaderboards. Get onto the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Why do we know, John? Why do we know Jay Fang? I can tell you, he doesn't write this amazing content. We know him because he's fucking everywhere. He was living in our comment sections for over a year.
Poor Jay Fang. He was thinking about you today with the Splinterlands.
Yeah, then he wants to jive us with the Splinterland shit. But now you look at him, and he wrote a post. He put up a thread, and he said, "I almost made it. I was in the top 10 or something." And a bad day for him. He's discouraged. He did 197 threads.
He was down on himself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it takes. And the guy's constantly engaging. The guy's constantly talking. I guarantee you when he gets his notification, he goes in there and he sees notifications, people respond to him. He comments. He responds to them. You have conversations. That's what it takes. So if you want to stand out, and I've seen people asking this, how do I increase my thread count? Do it. Start replying to people. You see a thread there, comment on it. Somebody talks about the weather in Australia, say, well, it's raining out here in Malaysia.
Right. It doesn't need to be Pulitzer Prize winning stuff here. Like, that's why Threads is so powerful. Just like Morton said, do it. Just do it. Do it to do it. Do it.
Yeah, just dump in and write something, write something about, go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. They all have news feeds for crypto. Read a headline and say, you don't even need to read the damn article. Just read the headline.
Yeah.
Oh, I see Gensler's going after Filecoin. What do y'all think of that? Just throw up that thread. People will answer.
Yep.
They'll either say Gensler's a dick or Filecoin's a scam, or Filecoin's a scam and Gensler's a dick.
Regional manager, Sad Cry. That's the way to remember his name. That's from Eric in Vim. So
ask Eric how he remembers Nifty.
Do I really want to okay, Eric, how do you remember Nifty?
I mean, have you seen what Nifty's username is?
I don't even, it's LEEM. I don't, I just Nifty. easy to remember.
It's easy to remember, but you can't ever find the guy because it's like, how do I tag him? Well, I can't tag him at Nifty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, talk about branding in a bad, not a great idea for branding.
Yeah. I call him Nefty. That's what Eric said. Nefty. Yeah. Hello, Eliana. Welcome. Word of the day was stacking. In case you didn't, we've been saying it for the past 20 minutes, but stacking is the keyword for your Zeely campaign. Get out there and adopt some threads. It's just changing vocals for numbers. I just smash my keyboard and pray I get it right.
And everybody keep in mind, our goal this week is to hit 50,000 threads. We did 37,000 last week, which was incredible. It was a surprise. And, we do have a shot at it. And not to let the cat out of the bag, but since Eric is listening on Vim, he has some plans and something that's coming up very soon. I don't have any details. I don't know what it is. They never tell me anything. They just say, you're going to do this. And it's like, okay. Yeah. And, I said, does it involve thread? And they said, yeah, okay, I can handle that. So watch for something out of the Leo Growth account or out of Eric's account. I don't know when he'll have an announcement, but he has something cool up his sleeve and something fun. And it'll be centered around threading.
Dude, I didn't refresh this enough. There was actually loads of questions. So I apologize to everyone I didn't. Eliane is telling me, don't forget my question, and I can't even see it. But
I'll go through and answer them.
Yeah, jeez, you guys crushed it.
What time is it? Do we have time? I mean, how?
Well, yeah, I don't even see it. But I did want to mention, I think Nifty asked about, have you guys used the 3Speak app? But first of all, next week, the 25th, we've got Cal on the show. And then the following week, we've got the CTT guys. And then the following week after that, we got a Nomad Soul, Eric.
No, Nomad Soul's the 13th. He's 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. Okay. Yes, 3Speak. Shout out to the CTT guys and everybody at 3Speak, Dan and Starkers and Voltec. Wow. Mobile app. It made me consider for a minute to go get an Android phone.
Nifty, I asked him, he asked that question in the open threads, and I said, I don't know, I haven't used it, but I said, use it and put together a threadcast, which he did. And I actually tweeted out that threadcast yesterday or the day before. So go to my Twitter and his results are there.
Apparently
he told everybody what he had. So he had rave reviews. So anybody else, if you've used 3Speak's mobile app, let's start promoting it, write it up in threads, do a thread storm relating your experience. Let's send them out on Twitter and see what we can do.
You guys are killing me. I might have to go get one of those zero down phones.
Just John, I think you can get like a cheap Android.
Yeah, cheap Android for like $59. Yeah, I know. Like I'm literally going to go to Walmart after the show and go get one just because I want to play with it.
It's like $29. You don't even need to hook it up. You just use it on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Eliana's question was, how's Ethereum? She's trolling me. I can't. Anyways.
So we go over time. Just so Eliana can troll you. Come on, Eliana.
Yeah.
You troll in the first half of the show. If we're getting tight on time, we want serious questions.
Right. Yes, because we're
troll John. Here's another thing. If you don't have anything to write about on threads, here's a fallback. Number one, make fun of Cal. Number two, make fun of Django. So you can always make fun. All you CTP people, if you don't know what the thread, just make fun of John and tag him. John G. Olson. Tag him.
Yeah. Tag me. I appreciate it. Anyways. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you guys.
Eliana, by the way, John, did you see Eliana's organ harvesting?
Yes, because her and I, okay, like let's be brutally honest now. We are not like the crypto elite here, okay? We don't have 20,000 Ethereum sitting in our back pocket. So how we get funds for buying crypto is we harvest our organs. Eliana sells kidneys. And you guys have never seen my
No,
left
that
foot,
you only got part of the story. That's part
Oh.
of Eliana and I guess my dating practices now.
Oh,
So
wow.
Eliana wants me to like go find women so she can
Wow.
harvest organs. So
Wow. We went there.
Eliana has a side to her that
Wow.
we got to be careful what type of movies we let her watch.
Yes. Yeah. We started with Bud Light. We're ending with the Human Centipede for all of you.
Oh man.
We went there, baby.
There's a scary visual that I never get rid of.
Dude. Oh, awful. Awful. You guys rock. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, and then Cal week today. So bring your questions for him. Make fun of me when he's on air. Don't make fun of him when he's on air because he might roar.
Yeah, he gets a little sensitive.
Yeah. Anyways,